In the first 3 episodes, we trace the making, movement, and mechanics of Israel Keyes, not as a mythic figure, but as a man who built a system designed to leave nothing behind. Episode 1 focused on construction. Keyes' childhood, his early exposure to isolation and control, and the gradual development of a worldview built around secrecy and self-containment. This was not a story of sudden transformation, but of slow reinforcement, where fantasy, discipline, and compartmentalization merged into something operational. By adulthood, he was not improvising violence. He was planning it. Episode 2 followed that plan into motion. Keyes' life became defined by travel, constant, purposeful, and deliberately unremarkable. He moved through the country using rental cars, cash withdrawals, and short, isolated trips that blended into the noise of interstate movement. During this period, he buried kill kits years in advance, selecting locations meant to defeat discovery. Some kits were used, others were never touched. The point was preparation, not frequency. This episode established the core feature of the case: separation. Crimes separated by geography, victims separated by time, evidence separated from bodies. Nothing was meant to connect. Episode 3 narrowed the lens. We moved into the final phase of his activity, where the system held, but the margins tightened. The abduction and murder of Bill and Lorraine Courier in Vermont demonstrated that his planning was real and repeatable. The murder of Samantha Koenig in Alaska showed what happened when the system intersected with a living victim who could not be erased quietly. Episode 3 ended not with resolution, but with interruption. Keyes was arrested, not for murder, but for fraud. Samantha Koenig was missing, not yet confirmed dead. And for the first time, the man who had spent years avoiding detection was forced to speak. That is where episode 4 begins, not with the crimes, not with pursuit, but with custody and what happened when the only thing he had left to control was information. I'm Becca.
And this is Dan.
And you're listening to Shadows in the Pines.
It's time for Shadows in the Pines.
That was gorgeous.
I fucking nailed it.
Uh-huh.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah, definitely.
I co-wrote that song.
Oh, okay.
That's how I know it's so good.
That's awesome. Now we don't have to pay the rights.
With Lionel Richie.
Sounds, yeah.
Yeah, we did it one night when he was dancing on the ceiling. It was quite a feeling. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. If you promise. Oh my God.
Welcome back, listeners.
Mm-hmm. Welcome back. Welcome in.
Finally, the final part. Mm-hmm. The final part.
Yeah.
Of this dirty dick bag Israel Keyes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We get to wrap it up.
Yes.
And we're past all the shitty part.
Yeah. That does feel good.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly. Few twists coming up.
Okay.
But before we get to that,
Yes.
let's talk about show news.
Oh.
News in the show.
Yeah.
The breaking news.
What's our breaking news?
It's not really breaking.
Okay.
But I did get a sweet little notification from Spotify letting us know that we have had 250 people stream the show on Spotify.
Ooh.
And every time I look, our listener count keeps going up. So hooray for us for being able to pull that off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Listen, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're kind of a big deal.
I'm going to say thank you to all our listeners right now. Thank you for giving us a chance.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
We really do.
So continue to like, share, follow, subscribe.
Exactly.
But you know what helps the most? Just tell your friend.
Yeah.
We all have that other friend that loves true crime.
That's
that
true.
maybe listens to podcasts. So if you're feeling generous, give us a little recommend.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
And also the TikTok keeps people really enjoy these fucking crime scene videos.
They're so cute.
I like making them. It makes my day.
They're so cute.
It's slowing down a little bit. I'm running way low on
Ideas.
funny ideas for it. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just switch the style completely from like 50s cartoon to the 80s action figure.
Oh my God.
You remember the He-Man and Transformers commercials and shit?
Yes.
New from Mattel or Hasbro. One of those companies.
Oh my God. Your own little doll making murder kit.
Yeah.
Plan the crime before it's time.
Right?
Yeah.
Pop a head off.
And now the latest feature, squirting blood.
No.
Oh no, that went too far. Becca, rein it back in.
Yeah, pull it way back.
It's just going to come with a sleep sack.
Your
That's what it's
sociopath was hanging out. Tuck that in.
I'll blame my caffeine intake later. It's got to be the caffeine. Oh my God.
All right, but before I stray too far from TikTok, we'll give a special thanks to a couple of our followers that are predominantly on my notifications. One being that pain in your ass.
No.
So thank you.
Yeah.
You're not a pain in our ass.
No. You're not.
You're a gorgeous follower, whoever you are.
Yeah.
And also Luna. Luna and Casper.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Casper with a K.
Oh, very cool.
But
Very cool.
I'm sneaking that one in there
Yeah.
because that's my child.
You're sneaking.
This is a test to see if she actually listens to our show.
Oh, there you go.
Or if she's giving us fake likes.
No, don't do that.
No, she's a loyal listener.
I like it.
I don't know how I feel about it, though.
She's supporting her dad.
Yeah. Oh, we'll
at
look
that.
at it like that, and not that she has any kind of interest in true crime.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But if she does, then like a good father, I will support and nurture it.
There you go.
So
And maybe she'll become a lawyer
maybe
or a detective.
that'd be
See?
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
She
you
just
go.
rolls up
Sleuthing.
in a smart pantsuit and says, "What do we got?"
It's amazing what happens when all you have is a badge. Yeah.
In a smart pantsuit.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
You could get into a lot of places. Probably.
Yeah.
Just, with a
Yeah.
lanyard and a smart pantsuit.
Oh, I will try that at some point in time.
Or
Yeah.
apparently a ladder.
Yeah,
If you and another person just carry a ladder into like any place, nobody asks questions. They just hold the door for you and assume you know where you're going with your ladder.
But it's a 1-level building, and like you don't even need a ladder to change a light bulb.
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, something's happening.
Oh my God. Yeah, listen to us for all these insider tips, right?
All right.
Oh my God.
Well, we better get to this fucking episode, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a lot to cover. It's a lot, but this is probably not going to be a super, super long episode.
Okay, cool.
Because, it's the final one.
Yeah. We're wrapping it up with this guy.
So where are we at with this guy? As you stated in the recap, he's in custody. Mm-hmm. Finally, they got him.
Yeah.
They had the bolo out. They found the vehicle. Mm-hmm. Long ass traffic stop.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, now he is in federal custody, and the interrogation portion of this whole thing, where they glean most of their information about these crimes, comes from.
It's good though.
Yeah.
Like finally getting some answers for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at the time he's arrested, the case is still very narrow and really, really incomplete because, as we know, he's just arrested for fraud.
Correct.
There's no murder charge yet.
No.
There's no, Samantha's body's not been recovered. We know the couriers will not be recovered because of the demolition of the crime scene. Mm-hmm. Just still fucking just shocking to me.
Yeah,
but,
that's bizarre.
So right now on paper, the only thing to have in the whole arrest is centering on the provable offense, which of course is the bank fraud tied to unauthorized withdrawals from Koenig's account.
Yes.
So at the time of his arrest, of course, she's still kind of just officially classified as a missing person.
Correct.
And while I imagine at this point, they have to believe that she's just fucking dead. You know what I mean?
It's been way too long.
It's been too long. And eventually, they just come to that conclusion. That we're not going to find her alive.
Yeah.
But, just because that's what they think and, are 98% sure of, it, doesn't necessarily mean that is what it is. Even though it is.
I can imagine that's hard for law enforcement because they're like, but we don't have the body.
Right.
And we can't link that to you personally.
Yeah, because, they don't have the physical evidence.
Correct.
Or any kind of direct confession or admission yet. So, they kind of have to operate with what they got.
Definitely.
So, every interview they do and every question, kind of has to account for that uncertainty. Like, is she alive or dead? And Israel understood this immediately.
Of course he did.
So from the outset of this whole thing, he didn't behave like a suspect facing any kind of imminent collapse. He was calm, attentive, and controlled through this entire fucking process, which is just, it's alarming how calm he is.
Yeah, because you would think that there would be some sort of panic or fear or, I don't know, some sort of misgivings should have been present.
Yeah.
And there wasn't.
No. So he answers basic. I touched on this a little bit in the last episode, but we're going to go way more in depth here. He answers basic logistical questions with no hesitation, like where he's been, how he traveled between states. He would correct, small factual errors if the detectives were wrong. And they're like, no, I actually went down this road and cut over this way,
That's crazy.
And he didn't deny involvement in Samantha Koenig's disappearance, but he also wasn't doing anything to clarify what has happened to her. So he's just allowing the ambiguity of the whole thing to kind of just remain intact.
Kind of like, let's see what they know. I'm not divulging anything. If they say something that's correct, I'll sort of acknowledge it.
Yeah. So for investigators, the early custody phase of this wasn't about extracting a confession. It's about access. They got him alive, coherent, and he's willing to talk, but only within limits that kind of are not yet fully understood by them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he this dude's a fucking straight up little bitch.
Yeah.
When it comes to this. And the remaining questions are so much greater. It's barbaric. You'll see what I mean.
Okay.
I'm alluding to the end, but let me just get there.
There's a lot.
In a way that makes sense.
Okay.
So, they kind of are talking to him and they're avoiding forcing conclusions that can't be supported.
That's smart on their part. Yeah.
So while, her disappearance, that whole like vibe is very much just present in the room. It's not really like pressed to a resolution. It's like the elephant in the room they're not talking about, and he's not talking about it, and they're like, okay, we're not going to press him or, like try to force it right now.
Right.
So instead, they kind of focus on establishing this factual baseline. And they organize their questions around the time and geography rather than the acts or the outcomes. And I feel like we've gone over a lot of cases where this is their best fucking, like, this seems to work better than anything.
Yeah.
Is tracing, like,
the timeline,
the region and the geography and the timeline of things.
Yeah. That seems to help them unravel a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because that just makes it that is something that's concrete. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, we saw it heavily in Will's Gray.
Yeah.
That case.
Yeah.
Like, and the tube sock one too, which is still fucking unresolved.
Yeah, that one's really disturbing. But yeah, timelines, geography, it's very concrete. That's not moving. That's been established.
Yeah.
You can't make something like, you can't make it go away. You can't make that disappear.
Yeah. So they're putting, they're basically getting their receipts together for his like travel histories and rental vehicles and short trips that didn't really align with work or family obligations. And, they're logging the answers against existing records, especially the bank data. And this is where he kind of starts cooperating, but very selectively. He's speaking freely when the cost of what he's saying is super low. But when questions start drifting toward consequence or implication, he kind of tightens up his answers. He doesn't argue and he doesn't refuse outright. He just simply reduces his responses to what can't be used against him. It's like you said, again, fucking smart.
Yeah.
And again, not glorifying, just stating that he knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. It's his way of keeping his nose, quote unquote, clean.
And kind of maintaining control, really, of the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He doesn't strike me as a person who likes to be out of control. Like he really likes to know where things are headed, what's going on. I mean, for crying out loud. If you buried kill kits throughout the country, oh my God.
So far, no admissions, beyond what the fraud evidence obviously already implies. There, there's no references to other victims, no acknowledgement of homicide yet, just a suspect in custody for financial crime, a missing woman, and their growing sense really that the arrest has not ended this case. It's just kind of like frozen it in place until they can figure out like just how fucking big it is.
Right.
And how far it extends. So the very first formal interviews began with a shared constraint. The no confirmed homicide. She's missing. And the FBI is in there very much acting accordingly with this.
A missing person's
not a they're not accusing him. They're just asking questions.
Okay.
And they were very careful not to force any kind of conclusions they couldn't really prove.
Smart.
Yeah. And they were just as careful not to kind of try to signal to him where they believed the case was heading.
Oh, that would have been a little hard.
Yeah. So, Keyes understood the boundaries as well as they did. And in these early sessions, the questioning stays very deliberate and structural. They focus on the timelines, the movement, and the logistics, like I said, how often he traveled, how long he stayed in certain places. And they're very non-confrontational questions. And they're designed to just kind of establish this usable framework rather than provoke denial or, kind of cause him to shut down.
Yeah. Let's keep him talking. Yeah.
So he, of course, engages on those terms, and he answers questions about travel calmly and without hesitation. He confirms states and dates that they were able to verify through records. And he, of course, was correcting them on the minor details that were wrong, like we said. And as they kind of are going through this, they kind of start seeing this pattern. Certain trips are short and isolated and difficult to explain through routine activity. And certain regions appear repeatedly without clear purpose. So when they start questioning him about those gaps, of course, he is narrowing his answers. He's not refusing to respond, but he's like,
short and clipped.
Right.
Yeah.
Being a little bitch about
it. Like, how dare you finally figure something out?
Yeah. So they catch on immediately. And they're like, okay, every time we ask him something like this, he does this. Every time we ask him this, he's just like fucking chatty fucking Kathy.
Right.
And so they're like, okay, clearly there's a pattern here. And he's not improvising. He's managing the exposure.
That's a good way to put that.
So, they got all these fucking questions, but they have to do it carefully. And all that matters to them right now is that they keep him fucking talking.
Yeah. Because the more you talk, sometimes something's going to slip out.
Right.
Get you comfortable.
So once they kind of establish this initial pattern, the FBI adjusts how the questions are built. Broad timelines are not really sufficient anymore. So they kind of compress the frame a little bit and reduce like months to weeks, regions to states, and states kind of have their own specific travel windows. And he continues to cooperate. And they kind of ask him, like, why is this travel that you did here? They're like, you weren't working there.
Right.
You didn't have any kind of family shit going on or anything. And
why were you there?
He just kind of like clams up and doesn't really offer an explanation for the trip at all. So he acknowledges that he's there.
Yeah.
But, his answers are kind of staying technically responsive while avoiding anything that could be, tested against unsolved cases at this point.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and this works for a while until the questions kind of narrow far enough that the generalities, they don't really hold together much.
Mm-hmm.
And the Northeast section of the U.S. becomes one of those pressure points.
Well, yeah. The couriers were up in Vermont.
Yeah. So in these investigators, they return to it repeatedly, not as an accusation, but as a problem of unexplained travel. Specific months, short stays, routes that don't match their routine patterns. Each return reduced the number of, defensible answers available to him.
Mm-hmm.
And his map is kind of closing. So again, he recognizes, the kind of shift, and he slows his responses, and he becomes way more deliberate about how much he confirms and when, and he doesn't really deny anything.
Mm-hmm.
But the space between questions and answers widens. So he's just sitting there, like, calculating.
Like, how much do I really say?
Right. And they, they're like, okay, fuck it. And while he's talking, he kind of fucking slips up.
Oh.
And I still don't understand why he just did this.
Well, how many hours into investigation was
Right.
he?
I'm not sure at this point, but he just flat out states that he abducted and killed a couple.
Uh-huh.
He said he took them from their home and killed them. And he talks about where he, dismembered them and left them.
Mm.
And he offers this in a way where it doesn't really feel like it's a confession. It's like he's just stating it as a matter of fact.
Almost like you would be like, yeah, I went grocery shopping and I got frozen pizza. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy. Like, super creepy.
So for the first time, he kind of slips up, and it moves beyond the bank thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of acknowledges prior homicide, and really without even realizing, gives investigators something that, they can test.
Oh, yeah.
So, his statement doesn't trigger an immediate confrontation.
Mm-mm.
They kind of treat it as a data point, not really a confession.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What he had offered was really just the framework. There's a couple, they were taken from their home, they were murdered in the Northeast. And, they can go kind of fucking look at this without really letting him in on
What they're doing. So they could have sent a whole team out there physically to the location to take a look at everything.
Yeah. They didn't really need to do that, though, because all they had to do was overlay the admission against the travel records that he already admitted to.
That's true.
And the rental vehicles and, of course, bank activity.
Yeah.
And the window he had acknowledged narrows very quickly, because within that compressed time frame, of course, there's only one unsolved case in that entire area that he said he was. And it's, of course, the strange disappearance of Bill and Lorraine Courier in Vermont. And they realize that it fits this timeline and outline, like, precisely.
Yeah. Because I can see when he came into the area.
Yeah.
How long he was in the area and when he left the area.
Yeah. And it is literally the only fucking case that fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with everything that would have been going on at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether or not he saw it as a confession, it really was. I know, but
Yeah. So, you know, they introduced the career case, not really to elicit a reaction. It was identified after the admission. You know, they check it against everything. And of course, they wanted to be certain before they start pressing.
Of course.
Because, you know, pressing this guy risks ending his cooperation entirely.
Yeah.
And
they need him to cooperate because they still want to know where Samantha is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do not envy the FBI. I do not envy anybody who has to sit in an interview room to try to get information out of an egotistical son of a bitch who's been murdering people.
Yeah.
I don't envy them.
Yeah. So after that's precisely true. Like, I wouldn't want to fucking do it.
Nope.
Like,
I'll let people who want to do it, who are trained to do it, they can do it. I mean, it's bad enough when you question your own kid at the age of 3 if they ate that cookie or not, you know, and you can see the crumbs on their face.
it was always their friend, not me.
I don't know.
And their cousin, I don't know. Those little rat bastards.
Thank you, Family Circus. Yeah.
So they confirmed this, and they're like, okay, Bill and Lorraine Courier. And they return to the interview room, and of course their posture is different. Still controlled, but obviously different. They don't accuse him. They present the case. You know, they make it a point to anchor the dates into places, and they kind of just watch for any kind of correction, denial, or retreat. And he didn't do any of those things.
So they had it right.
He confirms the murders and provides corroborating details.
Okay.
Information that, of course, cannot be known without direct involvement is corroborating details.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, like, I just want to let that sit there for a minute so that you and the listeners understand, like, he doesn't deny it.
No, I didn't deny it whatsoever.
And this is just part of, like, his fucking overall weirdness. Like, he's not fucking, like, he knows that they know. He's not denying it. He's not offering anything extra other than the corroborating details, which is bonkers to me.
Yeah. Like, I used a silencer. I tied them down.
Yeah.
I separated them.
Because, like, and I hate to say it, but had he sat there and been like, well, prove it.
Yeah. We would have never known.
They wouldn't have been able to, I don't think.
No, I mean, yeah, because that building was gone. Their bodies were in it. It was demolished. There was no evidence.
So for him to be like looking at it and be like, oh, yeah, I did that shit. It's fucking so weird to me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this guy's fucking weird.
That's a nice way of saying sadistic. But yeah. Yeah, he's weird. He's controlling. He doesn't want public fanfare.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like at that point in time, he wanted to be noticed for his work. I'm putting air quotes out there. You know, he wants to have some sort of acknowledgement from them that that's what he did. Like,
Yeah, something.
it was his, nobody else's.
So, of course, now the interview completely fucking changes because he has just admitted to murder, of course. And he kind of understands what he's just given away and why it matters. And it's at this point he becomes even more careful about what he acknowledges and way more attentive to how information moves once it leaves that room.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So for him, the interviews are no longer exploratory. They become transactional.
Yeah.
So again,
They're not looking to see what could possibly stick. Now they know. And
Right.
now he knows. Oh my God, it feels like that whole he knows, they know, he knows kind of thing. But I can understand that. It does. It becomes that transaction between them. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about this Samantha Koenig.
Okay.
Because as we know up to this point, that is still just existing as a missing person.
Mm-hmm. With
he's
fraud,
in custody for fraud. Now the murder of the couriers.
Mm-hmm.
She's missing. They believe she's been killed,
Mm-hmm.
but their belief doesn't carry the weight of proof.
Correct.
So everything the FBI has done so far, every interview, every strategic decision, was kind of shaped around that uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed when Keyes, again, decided to remove it. So after the confirmation of the courier murders, the leverage in the room shifts. The FBI now has proof that his violence extends beyond the present case, and, their narrowing strategies kind of worked. And Keyes understands this as well. He also understands immediately that Samantha Koenig's status is the final barrier keeping the case from fully hardening against him.
So if he can still somehow prove she's alive.
Right, but yeah, he's not going to do that.
No, he can't. No.
No. What he is going to do is give them information and photographic proof confirming that Samantha Koenig's dead. Again. Like, it's fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Again, he's just like, yeah, I did that shit.
It's like he's proud of it. You know what I mean? And almost as if he's like, finally, someone's noticing what I'm capable of. But I don't know. He just
no, he
gets
didn't.
under my skin.
He didn't really want notoriety.
No.
At all. Like he doesn't want. I don't think that's what it is
Not
at
like-
all. I think he just knows that that he's caught, but he's got this weird fucking sense of making sure that they know that what is right and what is wrong or unfactual is fucking corrected. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Like he's like, no, that's not
Get it
where the
right.
fuck I was. I was here when it happened. Like he's almost insulted that they're getting it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what he's correcting more than anything, really, which is why it's so fucking weird to me.
It is weird. Do you think that they were purposefully slipping in some wrong details just to put him more on the spot of, this bothers him. He wants it correct. So let's feed him something that we know is wrong so that he can come back and be like, no.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because that's like just giving them evidence.
I know this, though. Like the habeas corpus fucking exists for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like you need to have a body.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, there are like extreme circumstances where that's not really a thing, but it usually comes because someone like this is admitted to doing it and they're gone and have been gone, and it's likely to presume that they're dead.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, without him outright admitting to these crimes, I don't know that they would have had enough to convict him on any of this.
Probably not. He was awfully careful.
Yeah, and
careful.
I'm not celebrating him.
No,
I'm just
no.
saying it. I don't know. Maybe he just wanted it to be over. I don't fucking know. We'll never know, which is the fucking most frustrating part of this fucking case for me is and you know why this episode's going to be titled what it is what he takes with him.
Yeah. That's stupid.
So anyways,
yeah.
He you know, he gives them proof.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, of course, from fraud with her specifically into murder.
Yeah.
So, you know, they kind of have this homicide charge, very much supported by evidence. And for Keyes, it kind of narrows his remaining leverage to a single resource, which is information about crimes that can't be proven without him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of where you're right about a few things with his ego.
Yeah.
And like, this is where he kind of starts fucking with them.
Yeah.
It's not them kind of trying to trick him. It's very much him being like, well,
really,
time to turn on toddler mode.
I hate toddler mode.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, of course, you know, the tone of the interviews change at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not getting louder or aggressive, but the purpose has very much shifted. They're not calibrating anymore. They're not testing the perimeter of what he's, you know, willing to give them. Mm. They're working inside this confirmed murder investigation with, you know, a suspect who's already demonstrated a capacity for serial violence. So they know, like, they're like, okay, this dude's not fucking normal. No. And they just kind of had this fucking hunch and feeling.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's way more.
Yeah.
Like, this guy.
There's no way that it was
there's a trail with this guy. He's too fucking calm. He knows what the fuck to say, what not to say. They're like, this is bigger than we think.
Again, I'm glad I wasn't in the room.
Right. So, you know, but all it does really is kind of make him become more guarded. He speaks way less freely. He shows increased awareness of how statements might be used and how far they could extend the case. Mm-hmm. And where earlier interviews are kind of allowing for controlled disclosure, the post-confirmation phase marks the beginning of restriction. So, of course, it's a homicide now. Mm-hmm. And once Samantha Koenig's death is confirmed, they have this whole fucking new thing they got to do.
Oh.
And they have to see how far this fucking goes.
Oh my, like.
But again, that requires his assistance.
Yeah.
Because they don't fucking know.
No.
They don't really know where to fucking start.
And he just started to shut down.
Yeah.
How do they get him back?
Mm-hmm. So Keyes instantly recognizes that the ground's kind of shifted for him, so to speak. Mm-hmm. The confirmation of Samantha's death kind of removes his ability to stall the case through ambiguity. Yeah. And at the same time, it clarifies the one form of leverage he still possesses, which is information about crimes that, like I said, can't be proven independently or without him corroborating things that, you know, are not available to the public.
Correct.
The intimate knowledge of the crime.
Yeah, yeah.
So from this point forward, cooperation was no longer assumed. Like, they didn't assume he was going to cooperate. They had to negotiate with him for his cooperation.
That is toddler mode. That is so toddler mode. Like, hey, buddy, if you go take a nap, then yeah.
So before, okay, so he began placing limits on how interviews were conducted.
Like,
So if the session moved too quickly
yeah.
toward unresolved cases, he would just shut it down and be like, no, I'm done talking.
Oh,
That's it. And topics he didn't want pursued were he would kind of try to redirect or just shut down and just not talk about it.
no, that sounds like a middle schooler.
Yeah. So he becomes way more deliberate about timing, like when he would speak, for how long, under what conditions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the requests began.
Oh.
And this is so fucking crazy. His earliest fucking demands were for cigars.
Cigars?
Yeah. He wouldn't talk unless they brought him a cigar. I mentioned this briefly in another part of the Israel Keys episodes that we're doing. But yeah, he's like, I don't know. You want me to fucking talk about that? Where's my fucking stogie?
Was he demanding them from a certain place or just?
No, just any kind of fucking cigar.
That's insane.
So, you know, on its own, it kind of appears minor, you know, a little bit of a comfort item and a privilege, so to speak, with no direct investigative value.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, in context, they kind of serve a different purpose. Each request tests whether information can be exchanged for concessions and whether those concessions would become a pattern. And when investigators agreed to small terms to keep the dialogue open, that's all he needed. He was like, okay.
It's like going back to his childhood, knowing how much he could get away with before getting caught.
Yeah. So now his cooperation has a price. It's a weird one, mostly cigars. But beyond the material things, and then there was a whole slew of them, like fucking certain brands of soda and like all this kind of weird shit. But I'm not going to list them all off because like the fact that he wanted a cigar and was allowed to fucking smoke inside an interrogation room was the weirdest one for me.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to have any form of cigarettes or tobacco use inside of buildings like that.
And this was not, this is a 2000s case, not like back in the day when, you know,
1960s.
Everywhere you went, even if you didn't smoke, you smoked.
That's true.
So beyond the material things, he mostly sought control over the structure of the interviews.
Okay.
He would resist repeated lines of questioning. He would object to how certain information might be attributed if it became public. And he showed concern about being linked to cases without what he considered sufficient proof. And, you know, they're not legal arguments. They're attempts to manage how far the case could extend beyond what has already been established.
Okay.
So, you know, the FBI is like, okay, well, you know, if we reject every demand, it threatens to end the cooperation. And accepting too much of his demands kind of allows Keys to think that he's able to fully dictate the scope and narrative of the investigation, which they don't want either.
No. It's a balanced give
Yeah,
and
exactly.
take. Yeah.
They kind of have to balance like what he's asking for and what they're willing to give with the information they hope to get out of the transaction.
Right.
It's just fucking crazy.
So it's got to be worth their time and make it into something that he desires so that he will get the information.
Yeah. So during this, you know, this new phase of questioning, he doesn't give them new names or locations or anything like that. What he does give them instead is confirmation of scale without any kind of resolution. He fully acknowledges that there's more victims than what he has admitted to with the Couriers and Koenig.
Oh, God.
And he also makes it very fucking clear that some of the crimes he's not going to discuss in detail, period.
Oh, like, yeah, I killed this person. Big deal. Move on. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, his kind of message is consistent. The outline of the violence could be seen, but the interior would remain inaccessible unless his terms were met.
Oh, so it's a yes, I did it, but you'll never understand the why behind it or how I chose them. Bastard.
So, he starts to acknowledge violence beyond the cases that they've already confirmed, but only in forms that can't be resolved. They're not really confessions in the traditional sense. They were kind of controlled admissions, kind of calibrated to expand the outline of the case without allowing it to be closed. Because that's his whole thing. You know what I mean?
Keeping it open.
Yeah. A delay.
Oh, it's like that separation thing again.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So one of the clearest examples of this came when he acknowledged killing a victim in upstate New York in 2009.
Oh.
He stated that the body had been buried in a remote area and made it clear that it would never be recovered. And when they pressed for a location or even a general search area, he refused. He didn't retreat from the admission itself. He's like, yeah, I killed somebody there. He just kind of severs any kind of other information other than that.
Huh. Wow. Just wow.
So they treat it super seriously.
Yeah.
Obviously. And it aligns with, his documented presence in the region. Mm-hmm. And with the broader pattern that they're kind of assembling. So even without a site, a name, or corroborating evidence, they can't really convert it into any kind of solved case. So it remains now even suspended, incredible, but incomplete.
Yeah, because they don't have a location, so they can't send in cadavers to go, or cadaver dogs, to go look for anything. Good Lord.
Beyond New York, his statements grew broader and more guarded. He acknowledged killing in multiple regions of the United States without, tying them to specific time frames. And some of those regions were New Jersey, Texas, Colorado, Utah. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Washington and Oregon and more in Alaska. That's a lot of states.
Mm-hmm. That's a very lot of states.
Yeah.
You mentioned Alaska, and I just think, wow, that he got so comfortable killing in his own backyard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, they're at this point, they're nothing anymore is hypothetical. Mm-hmm. And they kind of separate the thing into tiers. And the first tier was a fixed tier, and 3 murders were confirmed through evidence and corroboration. Mm-hmm. The Couriers and Samantha Koenig. So that tier kind of establishes a baseline of behavior, of course, the method, the planning, and the willingness to kill across jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. And they provide time anchors that allowed analysis to evaluate the spaces between these crimes.
Oh, gotcha.
And this second tier emerges from the interviews themselves. So during these negotiated sessions, Keyes confirmed the existence of additional murders without, of course, supplying names or locations. Mm-hmm. And the New York admission was the clearest example. He, a specific killing acknowledged, burial asserted, and all recovery information deliberately withheld. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, we have all these other regions, again, where he's talking about having done things. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where their third tier is at. It's there's enough to suspect him, but they don't really get a chance to take it much further than that.
Oh, because he's withholding everything, and he's not going to give you names,
Right.
but he'll admit to being in the area. Again, wow.
So
Control.
Yeah, in the course of this analysis of, where he says he did things and his travel records and shit, we have 3 murders that are proven, and then at least 11 more believed to have occurred based on where he said he was and certain homicides and or missing person cases that kind of fit the profile of this.
11 more.
Yeah. So 11 that fit close enough.
To what he's already
And 36 more that they were working on and suspected him of.
Holy shit.
36 more.
That.
I know, right? It's fucking bonkers, batshit crazy bananas.
Yeah, it is.
And those are Bundy numbers.
That's insane.
There's a lot of strange parallels to Bundy with this whole case, like the ego, the fact that he's arrested fucking
for traffic
while he's driving, just the traffic stop and shit, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah. And we can't even ask him any questions.
No,
we can't do that. Oh my God. Okay. That's just like, that's more than creepy. Because 36, I mean, my God, that's like a whole classroom of kids if I'm working by numbers.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm a mom. That's where my brain goes.
Mm-hmm. So at this point, they've interviewed him a few times. And it's also at this point that the interviews lose all their forward motion.
I can imagine, yeah.
Their strategy that had produced admissions, precision, and, negotiated access was no longer yielding them any kind of new ground. Because Keyes, of course, adjusts again, and this time by completely reducing engagement.
Oh, like he was just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Their interviews became way shorter. He severely narrowed his answers when he did feel like answering, and topics that had previously produced partial acknowledgments were just closed off entirely.
Oh, wow.
So when, they kind of attempt to revisit unresolved admissions or push for clarification on those 11, he just kind of disengages.
Oh.
There's not really a confrontation or denial. Again, he is calm through this entire thing. He just refuses to proceed.
That must have shaken him to their core, though. Like, God damn it! Like, we had you, and you were talking to us, and now nothing. That's got to be so frustrating.
So they kind of shift their tactic again, and they're like, "All right, well, let's just work on, trying to get as much as we can about what we do know." And they continued to meet with him. But on December 2nd, 2012, while being held at the Anchorage Correctional Complex, Israel Keyes died by suicide in his cell.
Coward.
Yeah. So on that morning, correctional officers discovered him unresponsive in his cell. He had fashioned a ligature, or, like a noose from bed linens, and secured it to a vent.
That's insane.
Yep. And he was able to do this without them seeing what he was doing because he would get under his blanket. Because he had there was a camera in his cell. He was being monitored 24 hours a day.
So he fashioned this under his blanket.
Yeah.
Slipped it around his neck. And got, no.
Yeah. So beyond that, he also cut his wrists and left behind a suicide note written in blood.
This is like the most dramatic he's been in his entire life.
Yeah. So I know what your next question is going to be.
What the notes say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do have it, and I am going to read it.
Okay.
So the note he left behind was is like a form of a poem, kind of dark and deliberate. But it said this: "We live in our own private traps, clamped in the skull, alone. This is not a cry for help. It is a final act. I wanted sleep, not eternal rest." So that was it.
I wanted sleep, but not eternal rest.
Yeah, he didn't leave a list of names or locations. No, no attempt to clarify any numbers. It offered literally nothing of investigative value.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And just like his interviews, it was composed to express authorship without surrender, and kind of just reinforced the same pattern that had governed his behavior in custody: communication without cooperation.
Yeah.
So, the timing of his death is not incidental either. When he chose to unalive himself, there were still open lines of inquiry. Admissions that had not been clarified, regions that he had been to that had not been resolved, and victims acknowledged in principle but never identified. And his death terminated every one of those avenues instantly.
So no more answers for any of the families with anybody who might still be under missing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's important because it's immediate and irreversible. Any lead they had that was dependent on his confirmation died with him.
Yeah.
Any
Selfish.
search that required a starting point, he refused to give them. So while, they are able to look at all these records, all this travel history and like timestamps from ATMs and all this stuff, and they know he was in the area.
Yeah.
They have cases that fit his MO, so to speak, and like what the fuck he's done.
Yeah.
He admits that he was there.
Right.
But then offs himself and
So
takes
you
all
don't
that
know.
fucking information with him.
Oh man.
So he's never even fucking able to be charged for the couriers or Samantha. He doesn't leave the questioning phase really.
No.
At all.
No.
Like they have him in custody, they're questioning him, they're trying to figure like all this shit out, and then he's like, "Well, yeah, I think I've given you enough."
And no, you didn't. But yeah, it's a control thing. Completely a control thing. I think he knew that they were closing in and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You don't get anything else from me,
Yeah.
bitch. No, nothing else."
There's cases that we're going to do that are horrific because of what has happened. And then there's cases that are horrific and unsettling because of how much, didn't happen out in the open. And that's what this one is.
Yeah.
It's what makes it difficult to sit with isn't just the violence, it's the structure of the whole thing and the patience and the fact that so much of what he did was designed not to be discovered.
Yeah.
And in like almost every single instance wasn't.
Yeah. It wasn't until he had that little slip up.
Yeah, because most of these serial killers and offenders, they leave something behind, a pattern that tightens, a geography that collapses, witnesses, mistakes, ego. They want credit. They want recognition. They want to be seen, even if
they don't.
that desire kind of only emerges at the end.
Right.
Keys didn't.
No,
he
none
built
of that.
an entire system meant to erase itself.
Yeah.
Crimes separated by years, victims chosen without any connection.
Yeah.
Locations selected specifically to defeat recovery. kill kits fucking buried everywhere years before they were ever used.
So crazy.
Sometimes never used at all.
Yeah.
So imagine if you're like, oh, we're going to take the family fucking hiking this weekend and oh, look at this new trail. You wander down there and what the fuck is that?
Right.
Oh, look, we just found one of Israel's fucking kill kits because there's still a shit ton of them out there buried.
Yeah.
And nobody knows.
And when you just named all the regions that he had admitted to traveling to, or that they can timestamp that he had been in. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's fucking crazy.
Because, yeah.
So through the whole fucking thing, he never unraveled. He just kind of tried to manage.
Yeah, he did.
He spoke just enough to confirm the scale, again, without allowing any kind of resolution. Mm-hmm. And that, for me, is what makes this fucking whole case so goddamn bizarre. It,
Yeah.
11 believed, as many as 36 suspected. And those aren't just statistics or numbers. They're unfucking closed doors.
Yeah.
And each one of those numbers represents a person who is never going to be fucking named. Mm-hmm. A family that's never going to fucking know.
Yeah.
It's just such fucking bullshit. He's such a fucking dirty dickbag dick.
Yeah. I don't even know if that...
Yeah.
That almost seems too nice to call him.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Even beyond that, it's not going to be like a typical cold case where years from now, all of a sudden there's going to be like fucking DNA.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, he took all
There
of that.
is no final accounting.
Mm-mm.
It's just one of those cases that stops exactly where he chose to stop talking and killed himself.
Mm. It's just...
Yeah.
It's unsettling. That's the best word I have. Unsettling.
So that is the completion of Mr. Israel Keys. And I wish I could put, a name to the 11.
I know.
Or even the 36.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So next week we will be moving on. Next week we will have a busy week next week.
Yeah.
It's Patreon week.
Yeah, it is. That's a lot. We got a lot.
And we will be starting somebody new.
Yes.
I don't know who we're going to do yet. I've not thought that far.
That's okay.
But
this one
I have a couple on deck that I'm trying to choose from.
Oh, there you go. Roll the dice.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But as always, thank you guys for tuning in and listening.
Yeah. Thanks,
We
guys.
appreciate once again all the love and support that we're getting from
absolutely.
Spotify and our listeners on Apple and Pandora and YouTube.
Podbean.
Podbean, yes. Podbean is a good app. It's free. You can download it. You can find our show. You can listen.
Yeah. You can share it.
It helps us grow.
Definitely.
It helps us succeed.
And that's
It
awesome.
helps us approach every day smiling.
Yeah, it does.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we thank you for listening. And that's another night in the pines.
Remember, keep your eyes open.
And your footsteps light.
Because in the pines,
The truth never stays buried.